Hello, it's me. I
It's
don't know
me.
what's going on. I don't know.
I'm giving the
Man with the
floor to you to
banter.
intro the show today, Druid. I should have
Oh,
told you, huh?
oh no. Oh
No,
no.
no.
Okay, well, hello, welcome to Bandwidth and Banter. I am your host, Druid IRL, and right over there
Hi,
is is the one and only Stormy D. Please introduce yourself, Stormy.
hi, guys. Welcome back to another amazing episode of Bandwidth and Banter. This is our second special episode of our unique series where we're going to have recurring guests, one per month. Oh my God, it was incredibly hard to choose the 12 folks that we wanted, and it wasn't because some dice rolling was had, some hair pulling and wrangling was had, but we're super stoked
Some
about it. And for this person, it was an easy choice actually. Wookie Monster was one of the first folks who came on the show, one of our first few episodes, and I know I just spoiled who we're having on, but that's okay.
yeah.
He's a fellow streamer of Stormkeep, Lord of Stormkeep, who we're super happy to have as part of the team. And we're looking forward to chatting with him a little bit deeper. As I said, this is a special series, so we're obviously not going to be asking the same questions that we did before for a returning guest. Instead, it's gonna be more of a casual couch style interview where we have topics of conversation. We have some questions, but they're really more conversation starters. And just like you saw last week or last month with Banana Tom. And then we'll still be opening the floor up to questions. In fact, we'll be in chat all the time. So feel free to pop in questions whenever you want to in regards
I'll
to the
snag them.
conversation topics. So,
Yeah.
you have anything else to
And
add,
also,
Druid?
yeah, tomorrow is
Mhm.
actually the 1 year anniversary of Bandwidth and Banter.
Isn't that incredible? That's incredible. Wow. The 1 year
Yep.
anniversary of Bandwidth and Banter. We started our new year off with Banana Tom, who was our first Bandwidth and Banter interviewee. And we're starting off a new year of with Wookiees.
Yeah.
And don't forget, folks, Wookie Monster, Wookiesncookies is an actual IRL friend of Druid and Extirpate Fate from their olden days. And now I can say he's an IRL friend as well because Starkitty and I went down to his hometown and hung out with him over well, not a whole weekend, but we spent some good time gaming with them, and I see why Druid and Fate treasure him and his friends. So without further ado, let's bring this big fluffy Wookiee monster on the show. Hi, buddy.
Oh, hello. I'll take big and fluffy any day. Hello. See, I'm gonna join the coffee mug gang. Here we go.
Yeah.
I didn't have it, so I
Oh, he's
ran
got his
midway
own
through
merch.
that
Look
intro.
at that. Look at that.
Yeah, look, self branding. Look at that.
Smart.
I have a old clip of
What?
me ranting about how everybody needs to go
Oh
and
my
buy your
God,
merch.
Don't buy the t-shirts. The t-shirts are so broken. I've confirmed that the sweatshirts are nice, but they are in Asian sizes. So if you want them to be sized correctly to you, get them at least a size or two bigger.
Fair enough.
Trust me.
Fair enough.
I got one and it was very small. I don't think I fit an arm in. Gave it to one of my other friends. But hello, everybody. Hello. It's a pleasure being here again. Oh, hey, Daddy. Wait. Hey, Daddy. How are you?
Hey, Wookies and Cookies.
Oh, sorry.
Please reintroduce
Sorry.
yourself for folks who have
Oh.
not met you before.
Oh, yes. Hi, I am Wookiesncookes. I am a friend of Druid IRL. She threatened me with bodily harm to show up. Otherwise, I couldn't see her husband anymore with our, conjugal visits. I stream a lot of silly stuff. I do co-stream a lot with my good friend Guppy, or the Fish Lord Supreme, as some of you know.
Yes.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, I play a variety of games. I play stuff from olden days. I play stuff from new days. I don't have the attention span of very long, so I usually don't stick to anything too long unless like people say, "Hey, let's play this." I'll be like, "Okay, let's go." I think I'm currently stuck in the realm of Northgard and Lethal Company, and now Grand Blue Fantasy. I mean, so I've played games all over the place. ADHD gamer. Yep, exactly.
Yep. Power World.
Yeah, Power World. Okay, Power World has been a recent addition, crack addiction, and I do have a server up for that. We're still kind of waiting for the glitches to get done before we open it up.
Yep.
We have 35 slots on that thing, so if people are interested, we will be opening up something for that later. So that is the thing.
Yeah, but you've also made the grave mistake of allowing me to pop onto your streams with you and just scream at you for 3 hours straight. So that's
I'm not used to it.
When you play Played Up, yep.
Yeah. Played Up's been a very good thing lately. Played Up's been a very awesome like game to have, especially on Friday nights.
It's so much fun. It is so much fun. I love it so much.
Yeah. Next time we play, I'm going to enforce a strict character arc for everybody. That way everybody has to play a character.
I'm down for that.
Interesting.
Well, we know what you're going to play.
Speaking of playing, by the way, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Speaking of new cool stuff tonight, like let's talk about the rest of the day before we jump into the interview, because
oh my goodness,
after Bandwidth and Banter today, I'm going to be guest starring with Druid on her channel for some Skyrim Together Reborn, and then this evening we're back on Wookiesncookies channel tonight.
Every
the
Friday
two
night.
of us and Star Kitty and Guppy and whomever else he has brought along. We
have quite a few. We got I think the full list right now is Kat, which is a freaking Friday gamer with us. She's our resident Canadian.
Right.
She plays with us. So we got Kat, we've got Stormy, me, Druid, Star Kitty. We got
Guppy?
Nomi. Guppy, yeah. Well, I figure it's kind of like you have that friend that's in a relationship and you're always like, we're just going to invite one of them. No, you're always going to assume the second one's coming. That's kind of how I am with Guppy at this point now.
Right.
So
8 is the max. I hope you don't have much more than that. That's 7.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it. I don't have I don't have another one.
Perfect.
And oh my God, Hutch. Hutch is an IRL friend of mine. He's one of the carryovers for me. And you got, oh my God, Hutch. Did you just nut me on someone else's stream, you monster? I just got nutted on a separate stream.
He loves getting you. So we'll be playing Lethal Company tonight, right?
Yes, Lethal Company is in the plan. We are in the process of getting a bunch of the mods together. Stormy was nice enough to supply us with a whole bunch of mods that we're still trying to work through and get everybody up to set on it. So we're going to do some tinkering before. But yeah, so yeah, there is a lot going on Friday, but we do this Friday night stream all the time. I think I've only ever missed one in the last 2 years. I'm pretty sure.
On that note, I think this is a perfect time for Druid to ask the first question to kick off our conversation today.
As the officially dubbed Adult Swim of Stormkeep, how does it feel to rule the chaos space of Friday nights? And what do you like most about streaming on Fridays?
Okay, so I'll be honest, it is absolutely chaos. I mean, I can't think of any other word. Like, I'll be honest, Druid is chaos with her streams, but that is chaos light. Mine's a no holds bar, like UFC fight in the octagon. Let's be real. I have people yelling over each other. We do very rude jokes. I mean, but that's what you expect from, hey, it's after hours, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We don't go too far, but it's enough to make you not say, you know what, let's not have the kids join us today.
Definitely pushing that envelope.
Yeah, but
we love it.
It's a nice change from the very wholesome folks over here at Stormkeep.
I don't know how wholesome we really are, but
Stormy, I met you in person. I played games with you in person. Little Bo Peep sends her regards.
Little Bo Peep, yeah, she can hang out with us anytime.
Yeah, no, she's in. No, we're not going to give Chat, we're not giving you guys inside joke knowledge. Sorry, you're just gonna have to experience that for your own one day. Yeah, you're just gonna have to deal with it. The officially dubbed Adult Swim Stormkeep. Yes, I do enjoy it. And what I enjoy about playing Fridays was a really weird thing. I have a whole story of how Fridays ended up being kind of the days that happened.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But basically, wait, wholesome Wookie. BT, you're the only one that barely edges the wholesome line, okay? but but basically, Fridays came about because that was really the only day me and my friends could play. I used to run Jackbox all the time because that was the only way for us being interstate, like friends or international friends are pretty much like, hey, come by and join us, play Jackbox. That was the only game that we could sync over a stream where even if there was a delay, there wouldn't be that much of a problem, right? So Fridays kind of ended up being those days. And what I like about Fridays being that it's end of the week, everybody, whether you work Monday through Friday or whatever, you can just, if you work a regular day job, come by, hang out with us after work, just have fun, right? Because, nowadays people can't meet up. I've got kids. I can't bring, I can't go out like we used to, sort of deal. So it kind of became one of those deals of, hey, Friday's nice because it's the end of the week. There's no time limit on it. No one has to go to bed early. Even if you work service jobs like restaurants and stuff, you're not working at least till like 12 or something. So you got some time to sleep in, sort of deal. So we'd run it to like midnights, 2 a.m. sometimes. And it kind of just ended up like that. And it was a lot of fun. So Fridays just ended up being a thing that we ended up just sticking to and running with. It just kind of ended up, just ended up being the thing. It wasn't really a planned thing. It was just kind of, it kind of happened. And then that's, when we started, grabbing more people. Latest we went was at least 4 a.m. Yeah. Dom, the Crow over there. He was one of the guys that used to help us out. We used to do Among Us nights a lot. That was like Friday was always our party game nights.
Right.
In which case I may bring Jackbox back now that I'm talking about it. Those were fun. But now we have a bigger audience with more people to do horribly disgusting things within Jackbox. So I'm a little concerned about that. That's one of the reasons why I haven't done it lately, because I'm a little like, I can't meter what people see on stream. Now I'm a little more concerned about the ban hammer coming out of nowhere. And Druid's laughing because she's played with us in person, so she knows exactly what we've done. And it's pretty bad. But you aren't guilty yourself, okay? I can talk about a specific tire company.
The cool thing, though, is despite like you talking about being bad, it's all fun and games and hilarity, right? It's when we say bad, we're the opposite of toxic. We're raunchy, yes, but always positive and upbeat and joyful and having a good time, and that's what we love about what you do. Yeah, no, it's like any like massive, like malicious intent toxicity. I don't tolerate that at all. Yeah, that is something I don't do. I did, as some of you, just for background, I know some of you guys know me, but I come from several other hobbies. But I met Druid and Fate and them through Airsoft, and I was running a very large team of multiple personalities, multiple people. A lot of backgrounds and everything. And I mean, we used to have a Facebook group for how we'd schedule games and stuff. I mean, I was the post-Nazi. Like, you are not posting this in here. Go away. It's like, I have no problems cutting friends if they want to, I'm basically the essence of, excuse my language, but fuck around and find out. There is no tolerance there. Gotcha.
Hot dog incident?
Remember that hot dog? Oh, okay, Fate, we can't talk about that in public, sir. Okay, footlongs are footlongs for a reason. But no, yeah. So, I mean, so my content, and especially what we do on Friday nights, yes, it is a little more raunchy, but no, it is never in a place of, where we all leave having a fun time. No one ever feels hurt about it. And if they do, reach out to me. We can talk about it, whether or not I schedule, game nights with you and that friend again, won't happen, sort of deal. Or usually I don't like everybody that joins me nowadays, especially on stream or, just in games in general, know what they're getting into the second they walk in. There is no, one's coming after each other. If there is some sort of conflict or something, I'm very quick to solve it. If you aren't going to solve it, I'm going to solve it for you. That's pretty much how I hate being the dictator, but that's kind of how it has to be sometimes, especially in like groups of so many people.
Yep.
So,
And that's why we love you, Wookiees.
Yeah.
We
You
appreciate.
just like me for my bad advice.
No, it's excellent advice. No, I like that's something that I really appreciate is like you're really good at towing the line and like setting those boundaries and just being like, this is chaos. This is bullshit. Like
Yeah.
chaos here. This is what we want. We can say stupid shit. We can cuss. We can talk smack. We can get frustrated, and we can do all these things together as friends. But if you cross this very thin line here, you're done. And I just appreciate that so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, folks that know me fairly well nowadays know that either if I go serious, there's something wrong. Like if I say it's like that's enough. Like I feel like the scolding dad. It's like I'm not that old. I don't feel that old. But sometimes like if I give like somebody the look, they're like, oh, like I've accepted my place. Whatever. And I can hear the fish talking in the background. That man does not have a volume button.
So
I understand.
Yeah.
Yep. I have. I like this next question to get us started down the walk path of deeper topics here.
Ooh, I like deeper.
Wookiees.
My safe word.
What has been the highlight of the last year and/or your biggest success story?
Okay, of the last, are we talking purely 24? Or are we talking like, hey?
No, I mean the last
23?
The last year of
chunk.
time. Yeah,
Chunk. Okay.
Yeah.
I think probably the biggest highlight is definitely meeting One Stormkeep. That was very much a surprise. I was not expecting any of that. I mean, an entire like plain certainty on it, honesty. And this is one of the things that when you first approached me, this is one of the things I said. I do not go into anything expecting anything. And if it does, great. But it's been awesome meeting a whole new group of friends. One, that we can play games with. Two, that we can associate with. Three, to know there's some sort of, other. And I just spilled on myself. Oh, well. Put that down. My hand gestures. I'm going a little Zakarian in here. But that's been very much a highlight. And, of course, I have the usual stuff. My job, I've definitely evolved as career-wise. That's been awesome. Getting this place, getting out of where I was. I think another highlight was getting Guppy out of the, where he was in Utah and actually coming down here. So now he lives with us, and that's been awesome. My roommate, Nico, Mr. Handyman himself, Deathberries. If he says anything, you've gotten a million words out of him, and it's amazing that you can get that far. He's a grunt and like a finger and like the one finger salute usually for me. But it's just having the recent uptick of like friends, right? Mm-hmm. Like community. That's kind of one of the things I miss coming out of Airsoft, especially.
Yeah.
Just having that sense of community. Like it's nice to know somebody's like, hey, look, let me pop on. Who's on? Let's play some games or let's talk about something or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's definitely been nice to know that people have my back. And especially, it's that camaraderie. I want to say that's probably been one of the highlights of the years for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I know that was something, not to speak for my husband, but I know that's something that, Fate really struggled with when coming out of the Airsoft community is lacking that sense of community. Mm. And Stormkeep is really, it's especially because like the caliber that you guys are operating at with like Fireteam Delta and then SOC Teddy and like all of that, just like
that's a hard thing to recreate. Yeah,
it's very difficult. It's and so like being able to see you guys like be able to bond over some sort of other kind of camaraderie and like rekindle that, like, because that's a skill too. I feel like being able to like share and highlight and like grow together and support each other and like that, because like in the Airsoft community, what I absolutely loved was like people would like just give stuff to other people and like bring and like be like, you're adopted now, here, you're now a part of this, let me run with you, let me help you, like, and like
we did that a lot.
Exactly. That was something that
was very much built into it. Yeah,
and like that's something that I absolutely loved seeing in the community that you guys are building. And so being able to just take those skills and that mindset and bring it over to the streaming world is awesome. And I love seeing it. And I love seeing it for you guys because,
Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome. feelings.
Yeah, no, like with anything, especially like one thing I've always stuck to, if a hobby ever becomes a job, step away from it because you will learn to hate it. That's just kind of how my look has been at it. If a hobby, especially something you enjoy, ever became to the point where you're more worried about how can I make the money on it versus hey, how can I enjoy this? You've lost you've lost that essence. You did the hobby for in the first place. That's kind of my idea. Some people can make it work, but as long as you keep loving it the way you do versus oh god, I gotta keep doing this because this pays my checks. Like that's one of the things I learned early on with that. And yeah, and how we approach like the airsoft groups, Fire Team Delta, anything less of a family, less of a team, more of a family.
Yeah.
Right. Once you're adopted in, you use a very strong word there. Yes, it is true. You got adopted in.
Yep.
Yeah, and like Dom said in chat, Broken Crow, he was the adopted kidnapped kid. We met him when he wasn't even 18 yet. And I think I abducted him from the field, traumatized him appropriately, taught him his place in the world, and then he somehow stuck around and hangs out with us still. I mean, he still talks to us. I mean, we're in different states. He comes by, hangs out, does everything. And it's nice to set a precedent, especially with something that I'm myself and my friends have done and put in place. Where I'm very honored to hear, hey, it's very hard to replicate this with other groups because that makes me feel good. It's like that was the goal.
Yeah.
To impact someone's life enough to where one will remember, two to hold yourself and others to a higher standard, versus just accepting either the mistreatment from when we saw it rampant all the time, no matter what group, what hobby, what place of workplace, whatever portion of life.
Yeah.
You see it. Someone's being beaten down on somebody or someone's using their superiority on something. No, we're all equal. We're here to enjoy our time. Treat how you would like to be treated.
Yes.
And that is something I very much made strongly there for sure.
And I want to add too that when Star Kitty and I got to come down and spend time with you and your close, your closest friends and your
my
peer
chuckles.
group. That's the way we felt. You made us feel right at home, like family right away. And it was just a treat to see that we get to know you better. I mean, I already knew that you're the kind of people that we would love to hang out with and a perfect fit for Stormkeep. But to be able to connect with you on a new level just was a pleasure. And
it was a lot of it was great for us too. I gotta say, we were nervous. I thought I was bringing my first girlfriend home or something like that. I was like, hey, we gotta clean up, I gotta wear something nice, we gotta make sure, what do we have planned? I'm like, I don't even know their dietary, like you can even ask the guys. I was like, I don't know what their dietary restrictions are. They allergic to nuts? Do they do gluten? I don't know. What are we doing? That's why I had no plan for what was going to be food wise. Like, I don't know. You tell me what you want, please. So I have an idea. Once I know like to find stuff and I will have stuff in place, whatever. Right. What's wrong? What?
You know what I'm pissed about?
You're pissed about everything. What did I do?
I am so mad.
What?
That my two really good friends got to hang out in person.
Oh, yeah.
And I haven't even gotten to see how tall I am compared to Stormy and Star Kitty in person.
Short. You are you little chicken legs. You are small. I remember how small you are compared to me. You barely come up to like my armpit. Yeah,
I was
small.
honestly surprised by how tall you are. Honestly, you
oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I'm right at 6.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I've always I've always been kind of that height and just didn't realize.
Yeah.
And honestly, you showed up in the leather jacket. I was like, oh man, I wish I had one. This man showed up dressed for the date. But then he was freezing halfway through. It was great.
Fucking cold.
I wish you would have brought more. I was enjoying it. I was like, yeah, this is nice. Poor Stormy was like freezing into popsicle mode.
Oh my god! Like it was like it was like Star Kitty 2 and I were in the 20s. Bitter cold.
That was
in the teens with wind chill down and below the teens. It was awful.
I almost went out with just a t-shirt, but I was like, you know what? I shouldn't.
I shouldn't brag.
I shouldn't. Yeah, I'm not gonna
Ripclaw,
do
I think
it.
Druid wishes she's 5'7".
I'm upset at Broken Druid. I was taller than you when I was 16.
It's true. It's entirely true.
Not gonna turn into a Druid roast, guys. This is not happening.
I'm okay
Yeah,
with this.
I agree. Well, you know what, Druid, ask him the next question because this is a good one. A little deeper.
Okay.
What has been the biggest struggle this last year?
Making myself want to actually turn on the going live button on Friday sometimes. Sometimes you get home from work and you're like, I'm just not in the mood. I'm going to be Mr. Grumpy Pants the entire time. And you know what? No one wants that, especially on Friday. So, like, in the biggest essence, in the regards to streaming wise, yes, that was probably my biggest struggle. In regards to real life wise, I haven't really. I'm very much a water off the back sort of deal. Like, hey, something hits me, I can adapt, I can move on with it. So I really try not to take anything in a way of where it's like struggle bus time. In regards to life wise, not really. I mean, it's kind of been smooth sailing this last year. Been very nice. Pretty chill. I think. Real life wise, struggle was finding out my old department wanted to charge me an extra $4,000 for early termination. That was my biggest struggle. Yeah. Okay, so as you know, we just left. We just moved. We were moving away from that apartment because of their bad management and everything. And I guess they were doing some shady stuff when we originally signed in. So they fired the previous office. Previous office left, but they had all of our signed signatures of our previous leases, so they had to abide by it. I never had a code to the front gate. I was never on the contact list. They were sending stuff to my, Mr. and Mrs. Penguin when they lived with me, but now they've had a house for the last 2 years. So basically all sorts of just mess ups. I'm like, I'm not signing this again. No, not happening. To live in this little dorm room, not happening. So we ended up moving in November. Our lease wasn't set up and wasn't terminated. It wasn't done until January. So I'm like, hey, is there gonna be any problem if I move out early? No problem. Okay, great. I'm not turning in the keys to you till December, like before the new year. They're like, okay, that's fine. I'm like, yep. And I've paid rent all the way up through January, and I've paid it month by month by month. And I don't want, like, there has been no power bills. There's no water. There's no one been living in there since end of November. You can't tell me, oh, we're missing payments. All of a sudden, I think last month I log in, just to check the last of the water bills, because I know there's going to be like maintenance, fees and stuff and whatever. I'm like, okay, we're up to zero. We even have a credit of like $40 on the thing. I put that there specifically to cover the rest of the money. I go onto there. I see early termination discharge for $3,984. I'm like, early termination because I turned in my keys a week early from the date of move out? You're kidding me? And so I walked out into the front room. It's like, mind you, this is like almost at 11 o'clock at night. I walked out there hot and like mad, right?
Yeah.
Guppy's like, what the hell? What's going on? What's the UK? I told him, he's like, that's bull. So what did I do? I have the great luxury of working as a field adjuster for Progressive Insurance. So a lot of my stuff is remote as it is. I can take it on the road. So what do? I went down to the old apartment, sat outside before they opened, said, I need to speak to the manager because I have her personal. So I texted her that morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, like, hey, I'm coming in today. We're gonna need to talk. She was like, oh, can I help you now? I'm like, no, it's fine. I'm already here. An hour before they open. Yeah, no, I'm already here. Yeah. So go in, do the whole deal, and she's like, oh, well, this is gonna take a minute. I'm helping out another client. I'm like, that's fine. I'll sit right here. So I sit in the seat that faces her window, pulled out my laptop, started working on my laptop, and I'm like, there is no way I'm walking out of here with a $4,000 tab. It's not happening. So it took her maybe like 2 hours to get it straightened out. And then I left with a $0 thing. That was probably my biggest struggle of the year. I was just so like, dude, I paid all the way through. There's no way.
Yeah.
I'm like, there is no way.
Yeah.
I was paying double rents for the last like 3 months. I am not doing this again. It's not happening. So that was probably my biggest struggle apart from clicking live on Fridays. So,
I get the whole clicking live thing sometimes because you're just like,
sometimes you're just not in the mood. Sometimes
sometimes
and you're worried that's going to come over to the. You're worried that's going to come over to the people watching. You don't want to do that. People come to enjoy their time.
Yeah.
So you go like, all right, we're doing this shit again.
Here we are, another day, another dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the attitude comes across, especially with how Fridays work as far as my stream goes, where we have a lot of people joining us on there. Like people have put time aside in their day to come play games with us or to come hang out with us or, just showed up and saw that we were short people. Hey, let's play. That's kind of one of the things that, needs, me as a streamer has to come across where I'm like, hey, I'm happy to be here, which I am.
Yeah.
Just sometimes I'm less than happy to deal with the people I do. That's it.
No, it's understandable. It's like, like you sometimes have that frustration ahead of time, but then once you finally make yourself push the button, it's like, okay, this is fun. I'm glad I did this.
Let's go.
Fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the pre-stream. Yeah, it's the pre-stream jitters.
Mm-hmm.
Because I stream
public speaking as best. That's it.
Speaking of public speaking, the next question is, what is your greatest fear? It may not be that, but I just, it was a nice segue.
No, I had like, okay, so I'll preface it. My previous fear was confrontational, speaking to people. That was always a hard one. Like, I was like, I feel bad making somebody else feel bad.
Yeah.
My greatest fear now, honestly, being alone. I mean, especially as you get, as I get older, I'm like, okay, I've been single since I was like 27, I think. Like I'm 33 now. God, I actually had to count. I'm 33 now. And you know what? It's just like, oh God, I'm going to hit 40 before I actually hit anything else. Ugh. Right. So it's just like, I'm just coming into, age. It's natural, but just being alone. But luckily I've surrounded myself with enough friends. 2, I'm blessed with now 5 nephews that are all around the same age group. I'm not I love how you're excited. Me, I have to figure out how I'm doing Christmas gifts and birthday gifts for all these freaking nephews, all within the same age group and span.
Oh, wow.
Because if I buy one thing, they'll be like, oh, where's my thing? It's like, I'm not going to buy you all the same thing, but then you guys are all be upset that I got you the same thing because you all wanted something different. I know how boys are. We all want the cool toys. That way we can share it, break it, and go through. That's how it works. You don't. That's how. Okay. Thanks, Fate. Great advice. Thank you. I'm trying to be the cool uncle. That way they, take care of me when I get older. All right.
You want to know what you can do? Here's a trick for you. All right. Figure out how much you think you might want to spend on each one. Right. Pool that money.
That's what I've been doing.
All right. Pull that money. Go on a inexpensive little vacation with it, and get little souvenirs from the vacation, and bring those back to them.
Yeah. Okay, see, pro uncle is right there.
They'll think that you're the cool, mysterious uncle that is always bringing them stuff from around the world.
See, I was thinking I was just going to hide $1 somewhere on me. I'm like, search me. Right. And then whoever finds $1 first wins that, that interaction. That's going to be something they're looking forward to later on in life,
Or you could just do what I do, and I just become the cool aunt that actually plays games with them. And so
are conscious till they at least hit 5. You should know this.
But I'm still the cool aunt that plays with them and roughhouses with them, and and
you
then
think
just
I'm not going to shake these kids for lunch money?
Stop.
What did mom and dad give you? Oh God, she's already peeking. Classic. Oh, I love it. It's so great. She starts and then it just goes away. But yeah,
I'm saving your eardrums. You're welcome.
They're already blown out. Anyways, yeah, that's that. I mean, my greatest fear, just being alone. I mean, that one's a rough one. And I mean, sure, everyone has a little bit of height fears. Everyone has a little bit of like claustrophobia. Like the usuals that are kind of there. But I mean, like, just being alone, just nonstop. I always hear it full blast. Okay, Fate, look, you married her. I warned you about this ahead of time. You could have been with me, but you chose her. I can't help you any further than that. All right.
I did tell him that he did choose this life. He made these life choices.
Yeah. Oh Lord. Okay, enough traumatizing your husband. Well, I guess I could.
There's never enough. She will always be there for that. That's her primary duty.
I'm just glad she doesn't parrot squawk in my ear anymore. Great. Kind of nice. She used to run up to me, hit me with like a tackle hug, and then go every time. It would drive me nuts. I'd be like fully kitted out for my airsoft game and everything. I get tackled, end up turtle, and I'm like, I can't get off the ground. Little 5-foot girl just like hitting me like a goddamn linebacker. Well, the problem is low center of gravity. She hit me low and it bent me over, and then she dropped me.
I was a wrestler in high school. I know how to navigate that really well, you know.
That's how you got fate.
She wrestled him?
Yeah, that's what we call it nowadays. Wow, that was the most creepiest old man laugh I've ever heard out of you. I felt slimy after that one.
What? I did not do that. What are you talking about? Now you're putting words in my mouth.
Drew did it.
I did it. No,
okay.
It was an avocado.
Oh my goodness.
I thought I was being blamed for something. That's funny.
No, it was me.
No. Stormy, you are the pinnacle of greatness in this chat right now.
I'm the pinnacle of what?
Of greatness. You are the pinnacle of greatness right now.
No.
Because you're the only one that can hold a semblance of a correct conversation between the two, between all three of us.
I'm just happy to sit here and listen to you guys. This is enjoyable.
Oh, if I can do one thing, it's banter. Oh, that's like half your podcast.
All we need is the bandwidth. Here we are. Let's go.
Hi guys. Welcome to Bandwidth and Banter.
I have a random off-topic question.
Oh, I love these.
Were you there when Fate shot me with the shotgun for the first time on the airsoft field? Were you there for that?
No, but I saw the aftermath.
Yeah. Okay. I was just curious because
It was a great 8-star pattern you had going there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. That was my hazing. And I was so determined. I'm not going to flinch. I'm going to show these motherfuckers that I am one to be feared. And I didn't flinch.
I thought it was you wearing a hoodie with fur on it in 80-degree weather running around.
That's
like
true,
a little
too.
gremlin.
Like a little gremlin.
Yeah. I mean, that was how I knew her. I knew her as a little gremlin that would come up behind me, slap me on the back, say, "Can we go? Can we go?
Can I run out there and hit the barrels? Can I run out there, please?" And I had this fuzzy hood, and I had I put it where I could put patches along it. So, and I had my little fuzzy hood, and I would run around out there.
No matter what, or whatever temperature it was, she'd be running in it, and she'd be like, "I'm so hot. Gee, I wonder why."
It's really hot.
You also made us breakfast. That's good.
That is also true.
Yeah, that is
also true.
Oh, I miss the barbecues. We need to do that whenever you move out this way.
Yeah.
Or if we move out that way.
Yeah, true. But that way it's only one family moving now.
Yeah. Or if we all somehow move to Europe, that would be awesome.
Oh, we all living in BT's basement? Fuck yeah.
Let's go.
Hear that, BT? Better clear that shit out. We're coming. There's going to be lots of people.
You see, the problem is he's going to keep beating us after midnight.
I call the gimp cage.
Oh, have you ever seen those beds with like the BDSM cages under the bed? Like they lock themselves. They lock their significant under the bed to sleep under there for the evening. Have you ever seen those?
No, I have not seen that.
That's a different kind of play that I can't get into. Like it's a full like bed, right? But there's like a bar caged off thing, and apparently it's some sort of power play thing that apparently people enjoy.
That's weird.
So
I can sort of get into that, not because I like to be dominated, but just because I don't mind being squeezed into confined spaces. It's kind of comforting. So like, it'd be neat to sleep under the bed.
I'll let you know if I find the link. I'll send it over to Star Kitty.
Oh
I got you.
God, I forgot about that. She was hilarious to play against. When me and her would run around, and Jesse would call it the rise of the crackheads.
That would be really cool, Alex. An actual castle in real life for Stormkeep. Well, I mean, these guys
nice. We just need the
already
funding.
built it in Minecraft. It's almost done. So, what did BT say? I tricked Bobo into leaving and her thinking it was her idea to get the place to myself.
Nope, you got adopted by a bunch of Americans. Now we're coming over.
Yep.
It's our turn to invade.
Right. We're going to have a tea party
BT
over
has
there.
oil in his basement.
We will force our brew onto you. All right.
Get a hide and sleep tent? What is that? What's a hide and sleep
Oh
tent?
no.
Anybody ever hear of hide and
next
sleep
question's
tent?
for you there, Druid.
Okay.
I'm also trying to figure out what this hide and sleep tent is, but we'll figure it out. We'll get there. Anyways.
Yeah. Okay.
Wookiees, what do you value most in a friendship?
The absolute trust. Like at any point during the time, like regardless of whether you're mad or, annoyed with somebody, if anything ever becomes a problem, like say, hey, I got kicked out of my apartment because of XY deal, there's always the trust there that somebody, whether or not they are close by or whatever, somebody will always be there to help you. That's kind of something I very much treasured in my friendships. Like, like when we go out to eat, we have a standing rule with our friend group. Like everyone carries, some sort of cash on them, like whether it's a $20 bill, somebody picks up the credit card because we'll never split like multiple checks or anything like that. We'll always just like, hey, here's one, $20 goes to the person that paid out or whatever. And then they keep that cash and that cash goes towards the next roll through. So essentially everybody's like paying and rolling through. And if anybody's short that day, like, yeah, sure, I got you, whatever. There's always that trust because we always know, one, it's going to be paid back. Two, there's always the trust of, hey, I've hit a issue or whatever, or like something went wrong. Can you spot me this, or can you come help me? My own little family group of my own, side thing we call the guild, and we have friends in Austin. They had a little bit of a family issue going on. I called Mr. Penguin and put out the word to our friends out here. I'm like, hey, DEFCON 1. And the second they all hear that, I mean, I've got ex-military to the gate. That was an old thing that we did in Fireteam Delta. If anybody had a problem, we'd call the DEFCON system.
Yeah.
So the second they knew that, they're like, hey, where are we going? Like, there wasn't even a question of, hey, what's going on? It was, hey, where are we going? That was it. And it was very much, we ended up, I ended up calling out of work early, going up to, Austin. I didn't have a car. My buddy, Mr. Penguin, jumped and grabbed his car, drove over, picked me up, and we shot straight up to Austin. And we were there probably till like 3 a.m, helping out with that specific family issue. But it was always just in the back of your mind that it was less of, we're not all here just to say, hey, we're friends with you because we know you. We're friends with you because we're friends with you. We are family. Especially in a time and day where most folks either don't have a family, whether it's blood or whether it's adopted or whether anything, it's very nice to know you always have some sort of family you make of your own and to call your own that always has your back. We've got friends that don't talk to their parents anymore. We've got friends that, parents aren't around anymore. We've got, all sorts of life differences, but we're all ultimately a family on our own. So what I value most in the friendship is that absolute trust and certainty that someone is always there to have your back, regardless of what it is. Whether, if it's something stupid, I mean, honestly, you deserve to lie in your own issue. Oh, I broke into a bank. Can you bail me out? No, sit there and think about what you did, you idiot.
I'll visit you in jail.
Yeah, I'll come by and say hi. You maybe get a once a month conjugal visits, but that's about it. I'll smuggle a Coke in the prison pocket for you, whatever. But I'm not gonna bail you out. You got to sit there and think about what you did. But that's the point. Like, there's that certainty of like, no matter what happens, there's a safety net there.
Yeah.
And the trust of saying, hey, this person or these people will always, help regardless. A whole Coke that's right. I've got one of these 1 liters.
Why not
I ordered
Pepsi?
like just a regular Mexicali. Pepsi's too cheap to get in there. Okay, I'm a fancy bitch.
Oh, okay. All right.
Excuse me.
I'm
Sorry.
gonna-
That one came.
you can-
That was
you
one of my quickfire brain comments. I'm sorry.
You're allowed to cuss on Bandwidth and Banter.
Oh,
okay.
fine.
All right,
I'm
I'm
the
sorry.
co-host.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
the co-host. I need the ability to drop a tactical F-bomb. Okay.
Hey, I dropped one a second ago when I talked about how cold it was when we came down. So,
That's true.
But I feel bad because once again, this isn't the night shift; it's the day shift.
hey, but we're grown-ups
Like-
here. It's okay.
But
Okay, all right.
I am deep down inside, I'm closing crew. No matter what time of day it is, I'm closing crew. We are heinous.
That's fine. I've done that shift. I get it. I think that's why we get along. But at the same time, I'm going in and messing up all your stuff because I'll complain in the morning when everything's all messed up. I'm the morning shift for you.
I like this
Yeah,
next
see?
question, buddy.
Oh, what we got?
Share with us, please name one thing that was harder this year than you thought it would be, and one thing that was easier this year than you thought it would be.
One thing that was harder this year. One of the harder things is just coming out of my shell. I'm very much a hermit at heart, so I can shut down, not answer my phone. I can disappear off the world and be happy about it, not even remember stuff. 3 months later, I'll pop up and go like, hey, what's up, guys? My hardest thing is being willing to, keep those connections open. I'm very much I like to, like, people always ask, are you an introvert or an extrovert? I'm like, I'm an introvert trying to be an extrovert. I was a bartender. I had no option. I worked in customer service most of my entire life. It just kind of became a thing. And, that's kind of where I did. But ultimately, like, I said I was going to do a bunch of stuff, but I'll be honest, I've sat in this room the entire week on my vacation and not done anything but play video games and not pay attention to the world. I said I was going to go car shopping and do this. So hardest thing was me just trying to, be willing to facilitate, the open relationships that I have. Like whether it's just coming out of my room to talk to my roommates, whether it's, coming in to chat, talking to folks during other streams, messaging on Discord. Hardest thing was just me saying, hey, look, you can't self-isolate, the entire time. And I mean, it may not sound as hard of a thing for a lot of folks. But for me, especially where it's like, I get socialed out. I spend too much time with people. I'm checked. I'm done. I don't want to deal with anybody. I don't want to hear anybody. Like, airplane mode on my phone is probably the best thing. I have a hard enough time calling my own family that I haven't seen in a couple of years. And they always reach out to me because they know I'm a hermit at best, but it's hard, especially for me to say, hey, I'm going to call this person today. Or, hey, I'm going to go say hi to this person. Or, hey, I'm just going to send off this text message because I really don't want to deal with it. My conversations are like short and decisive. Like, okay, thanks. I want to go now. Bye. Like, that's a hard thing. It's just being able to tell myself, look, you can't just sit there and by yourself, stare at a wall, do nothing, regardless of how badly you want to do it.
Right.
Second part of the question, the easiest thing. Honestly, life isn't easy. I mean, I don't know what to really say. The easiest thing was me like pouring water into this cup.
No. The question was name something that was easier than you thought it would be this last.
Easier than I thought it would be. Okay. Sorry. The brain firing off.
It's okay.
Brain do brain things.
Brain hit the yeah. As I like saying to Guppy, it's the zone out brain mode where you're on one track, you realize you're going that track, and then all of a sudden just splits halfway through.
Yep.
Thing that was easier than I expected. I mean, easiest than I expected. Jury duty here in the state. I have never done jury duty here in Texas. That was easy, but it was traumatizing as hell because I sat in a room for almost 13 hours, did nothing, never got called, just sat in a room. But I've only done jury duty in California, which was, hey, type it in. Do they need you today? No. Okay, bye. That was it. I expected my jury duty to be a lot harder, where I'd go in, get stuck on a panel for like X amount of time for like 3 months, chalk up my luck, and then that was it. But no, it was actually really easy. I reported, sat in a room, literally read the entire Warhammer 40,000 10th edition rule book on my own. because I had nothing else. I didn't go in planned. I should have brought my work laptop. At least I would have gotten done some work when I was there.
Mhm.
But no, that's probably the easiest thing I got. Yeah, it was a lot easier than I thought. I've never had to actually sit and do full jury duty, so that was nice. It was a nice experience. I don't want to do it again for the next 2 years, but hey,
I want to be on a jury so bad.
You're the people they won't choose, because if they know you want to be on it, the lawyers are like, no, she's too enthusiastic. We want the people that don't want to be here. So that way,
I would take it seriously. I respect the jury system.
And that's exactly why you would get kicked off the jury.
Oddly enough, that's how you get kicked off. You will never be selected if you raise your hand and say, I want to be there.
Called up. I'm sorry, go ahead, Wookiees. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
Go for it.
I was just saying, if you ever get called up and you want to, just be bland and boring. Don't just say, I'm open to, be open to possibilities, and don't come off as you lean one way or another. Tell them that you respect the law, and and don't come off as excited that you want to get on the jury.
Innocent until proven guilty.
I wouldn't even say that. Don't even say that. Just say, I'm open to understanding how things work and helping if I can. Super simple.
The problem is your personality is very detrimental to being selected on a jury. Sorry.
Yeah, her personality is totally getting in the way of what I just described.
I don't know how to be chill about anything I'm excited about. It's impossible.
Not gonna happen. Sorry. It's good because you'll never have to do a multi-day trial, but
But that's what I want. I want to be a part of it.
Yeah, you're not.
Anyways, it doesn't matter. Anyways,
Justice says
it's
no.
never gonna happen.
Justice says no.
It's never gonna happen. Fine. I'll just watch court cases all by myself then.
Oh, it's even worse. If you say I watch Law and Order and sit in these true drama things, you're like, yeah, I watch court cases all the time. I want to know what it's like. Are those two lawyers sleeping with each other? Oh, yes.
No, I watch legitimate trials. Legitimate, all of the trials. It is, anyways. It's your interview, not mine.
I can see her jaw clench where she's just so irritated with the concept she's never going to be able to do this.
There is one way she could, I can think of. It would require a lot of years of time and effort, but you could, go to law school, go to college, go to law school, become a lawyer.
Now they have no option to let you in, but to let you in.
That's true.
I want to be on a juror. I want to be a juror. I don't want to be. I don't want to. Oh. I think
good luck. They said peers.
Yeah. Juror of your peers. I'm excited to be here. Kicked out.
No one's excited to be there.
I know.
Anyway. With a happy attitude. I'm here. No, you're not. Like walking down the yellow brick road coming to the area. She's like, I'm here to work.
I'm here to do my civil duty.
I get a sticker and everything.
No, I am. I am registered. I am registered.
You don't think she wouldn't want to state her opinion? Of course she's registered to vote.
Absolutely.
She has more opinions than most of the United States. You kidding me?
I'm also open to be swayed, though. If you give me good evidence and you come factually instead of emotionally.
I've told you some stuff with a straight face, and you believed me at face value, girl. Okay, don't even act like you're gonna try to swindle me.
Yeah, I kind of feel like she's somebody who could be easily swayed.
You're talking to the greatest manipulator of human consciousness, okay? And you know that for a fact. People don't trust me in board games anymore because I can talk them out of doing something. Yep. I don't maliciously manipulate, but I do it enough to where my friends realize they can't trust me in Catan.
He does do it in games. Yeah.
In Catan.
Yep. Can't help it.
All right, Wookies.
Peanut butter.
Ooh. If you were to die, you come back as a person. What?
Sorry, I said I hope this will be his actual answer to the question, but go ahead. Start over, Druid. I'm sorry, I messed it up. Go ahead.
You don't mess anything up. This is open forum at this point. She's messing it up by not giving the question.
If you were to die and come back as a person or a thing, what would it be?
A cricket.
Did you say a cricket?
Yeah, cricket. You know why?
Why?
Because my entire life would be me annoying the shit out of any homeowner I sit in the front yard with. Just sitting there, moving my legs back and forth, making my noises nonstop next to the freaking window. And then my very short life is going to be me making that annoying noise and then getting fed to a lizard and restarting the cycle again. Then I'll come back as something else. I haven't decided yet. It was either a boulder or a cup of water.
Or peanut butter, maybe?
Or peanut butter. Okay, people do bad things with peanut butter. I don't want
That's
that kind of
true.
trauma on my, spiritual consciousness. All right.
I got you.
There are some jars of peanut butter in this world that have been heinous things been done with, like put on toast without jelly. Okay. Emotionally, that would be horrifying, and my soul would be tainted with the lack of jelly with my peanut butter.
Because it's peanut butter,
Jelly time.
peanut butter.
Well, so this
Oh, sorry.
the way he put this. Now he has goals for when he dies. So let's step it back just a little bit. What are some of your goals and plans for this coming year?
Okay, so the boring answer, my goal and plan is to actually find my vehicle, my car that I want and that I know I want to use. Like, that's one of the things I procrastinate a lot on, because I want to find that one good vehicle that I want. I want a new one, but I don't want a new one, but I do. I kind of, I'm very specific on that. So I want to be able to come to a point where I'm so financially stable with it, where I can just say, I can do it. No problems. Here you go. Bam. Here's my car. Goodbye.
Yep.
That's the boring answer. My goal for the year is honestly probably put a little more effort in my streaming side of things, a little bit more conscious effort. I mean, and then another one would be to where I'm, a little more in the lives of my nephews. They're a little bit away from me. I want to be able to, show up and just say, hey, you want to go to the park? Let's do this. Let's do that.
Yeah.
I want to be able to do that. Another goal would be where, I honestly get back in some sort of shape, but between, my own health issues, but whatever. That's what I got.
Yeah.
That's my plans for this year. Honestly, I'm a very large procrastinator, so I think I maybe get at least a quarter of what I just said done.
That's something.
It's effort going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'll chalk that up to a win if I get one thing done out of the 9 that I have associated with goals.
Absolutely. I mean,
Absolutely.
that's the thing. Just keep moving forward.
Yeah. Problem is, my moving forward is me falling off a hill and rolling like a little donut down into the lake.
Hey, you're getting
Donuts
somewhere,
are
at least.
yummy.
I bought 2 dozen donuts and they sat on the thing, and I just I'm gonna stop at 1. No, you don't stop at 1.
It's impossible to stop at 1.
You don't just stop at 1.
That's why the key is just to not buy them.
Okay, look, yes, that is true. But when you see donuts, you just go, eh. You can't just buy 1, because then the 1 will be lonely.
Yeah.
And you're like, I gotta get a dozen. I'm bringing them back for other members of my family and or house, and they'll surely eat them. Little do they know they only have the choice of the last 3 I didn't want to eat.
Which is perfect.
Some things, no donut left behind.
No
And I've had
left behind.
I've had my first kolache, by the way. It was okay. It was very eh.
Yeah, first time I had one, I was the same way. I was like, people are excited about this. This seems dull to me.
Yeah, I was like, it's a pig in a blanket with a little extra. Ooh.
Yeah.
It's like, I got hot sauce that does that for me.
Yes.
Hot sauce is the unsung flavor department of the world. Some people just sleep on hot sauce, and it's because they've only had Tabasco, which is a gross vinegar-based monstrosity.
Yes.
What Wookie's favorite kind of donut is, Alec. Okay, we're not in the chat section. You can mark that one down, because that one I will be answering.
All right, then let's get through this last question. What do you want people to know about you, Wookies and Cookies? What is the last thing you would like to share? Anything?
I'm
Anything?
a sensitive soul, and my pinky's totally just off kilter because I broke it one time in life.
Same with my middle finger on my left hand. It's also off kilter.
That's because it's been held up too much.
I smashed it in a Baylor door.
Oh,
In a
hey,
what
okay.
door?
Here's a fun fact. I lived in Washington right before Druid moved down to California. And the reason why we became fast friends because I listed a town. She's like, I know where that is. I'm like, yeah, it's right over here. There's a whole thing.
Yep. Yep.
There goes your quick facts.
And then I was just like, yes.
Yeah, it was Chipotle Tabasco is the only Tabasco I ever eat. Yes, I know you have 3 bottles. 2 of them you've opened already.
All right, so now is that perfect time to jump in the open forum where we can grill this meaty man on the barbecue and put lots of barbecue sauce on him and slather him with oil and all kinds of.
Stormy, why do you talk so dirty to me and not expect things to happen on stream?
So, what was the question?
We lost that when you started describing the perfect romp on the back here.
What is Wookie's favorite donut?
My favorite donut. Okay, it's the old fashioned bar, vanilla bar, where it's the brick of condensed like donut goodness with a glaze on it. It's delicious. I like me an old fashioned donut. Just good because you know why, you can chop that and dip in your coffee, go with the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maple bars are pretty good though, but it depends on what kind of maple people use on it.
Listen, a local bakery here in town has literally the best maple bars.
It. The best apple fritter I had was in Tacoma. I'm just gonna put that out there.
I don't know.
Best apple fritter I had.
So
now I want donuts. You know what I'm talking about. Don't say the town, but Laxman. Best bakery around. Absolutely. So when you guys come up to visit.
Someone asked, so what is your hot sauce? What's that you like? That's your
my preferred one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my go-to hot sauce lately has been it's called Bluebird. It's a jalapeno and chipotle sauce.
Ooh.
But it's the Bluebird variety. I've lately been trying like all the different Bluebirds. We have one bottle of what is it? Of a ghost pepper or smoked ghost pepper hot sauce. That honestly, Nico's been cooking a ton with it because he likes the spice. It gives you a nice spice without destroying the flavor. Like I think the best hot sauce I've had was a Blaine's. It's literally called Blaine's. It's literally a death's head hot sauce, and it was actually pretty freaking delicious. It had the spice, but this is before like Carolina Reapers and everything were like, popping up. So this is purely down to like habanero was like the hottest thing anybody realized was out there.
Yeah.
Right. But this thing had the great, like the best flavor profile I think I've had. I haven't been able to find it again yet, but Blaine's makes it. I haven't seen it yet. I think it was one of their limited runs because it was like this little itty bitty sauce container. But it had the most holographic like skull on it I've ever seen. I was like, dude, me at 12, I was like, that's so cool. Right. So, I mean, I brought that. I was that kid that brought that cool, very hot, spicy hot sauce to high school and be like, hey, try some of this.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So that kind of reminds me of, it's interesting given this, how we as humans sometimes have a nostalgia for something that we experienced once in the past and try and rekindle that in the future. Are there any video games that you have that kind of nostalgia for that you'd like to rekindle, replay over again as if you hadn't played it before kind of thing?
Command and Conquer Red Alert 2.
No, that's a good one.
With Yuri's Revenge. And the reason why I'm saying that, because I'm absolutely miffed that EA owns the franchise and they haven't released a remake of that thing to let it run on Windows 10 and above. I'm so annoyed because that campaign, I loved anything in the Command & Conquer series where it just had the cheesiest, like, C cutscenes ever that gave it such a great, like, oh, this is so grainy, but these actors are great. Here's some A tier actors doing the C entire like scripted and cinematic, episodes, and then sitting there playing all the way through it. I love that game. That game was so good. I would love to come back to that with fresh eyes and just be like, do I still like this as much as I do like now? Especially like you look in the lens of like, the hindsight going on. CNC remaster exists. Yeah, but that's okay. That's a first Red Alert and the first Tiberium Wars coming into effect. Yes, I like it. I still have it installed, and yes, I play it, which I might do it on stream again. But it's not the same as Red Alert 2, because Red Alert 2 had a lot more story involved and a lot more of just, hey, we're going to go back in time and shake hands with Einstein and kill Einstein because, that's the way you create the weird time lapse bubble that kills everybody and stops the Soviet Union from winning the war. it's like this weird backwards thing. It was like watching like a bad sci-fi movie and like 3 o'clock in the morning be like, oh, I'm sure this will be good. No, you're drunk. You're sitting on your couch half naked, covered in Cheeto stains. This is never going to be good. But you're going to watch it anyways because in your head, you're all like, this is the best thing ever. Oh, and the time warp. I mean, you never look at it in the right mind. I'm hoping that it's the same for me when I go back to it. So if I had my mind wiped and I came back to it fresh, hopefully I'd still like it the same way.
So,
okay, Alex, I am with you. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask for anybody, this is the time where you can ask questions of him or us. Like if you have a question that would be cool for all of us to answer, that's really neat. And that goes for you too, Wookiees. I
have a question for you guys, because this one's more of a mental thing. Do you have a scent, like you smell something and immediately puts you back into a time of your life or something you remember specifically, and you'll always smell it? And we'll always go, hey, what's it? What do you think, Stormy? No. She's not existing right now. What do you think, Stormy? Would you have one?
I think Druid wants to go first. I'm pretty confident.
No. Druid can sit there in Flavor Town by herself for a minute. I'm curious about what you had. She was too excited. Okay, this is my portion of this podcast now. Yeah.
I mean, there's a number of scents that if I catch them, they'll make me like create a nostalgic feeling, but it's always one of those things where it happens when it happens, and you think of that moment in time when it happens. But sorry, man, something in my throat.
It's okay. Did you get a whiff of it?
But I can't think of one right now, so I'll let her go first while I think.
I literally have 3. I have 3 distinct smells that put me in very distinct places and times.
Okay.
1. So when I was really, really little, like kindergarten, 1st grade, at my elementary school, there were these little mini snails.
Oh, pause. Before you give it context, were you sniffing snails? That's a drug in Europe. You can't go sniffing snails, okay? Did they consent?
No.
Okay.
But, okay, so what So I would collect like pockets full of these little snails, and
your mom must have hated you when you came home from kindergarten and be like, what's this squishy feeling in her pants?
Listen. I was also sneaky. And I also collected a lot of bugs as pets. I was one of those kids that also would dig up earthworms and be like, this is my friend. Look at my friends. And there would be like a handful of just worms. That's just the kid I was.
No one here is surprised with this at all about you. No.
Not a single soul.
You were eating grass just to taste it, weren't you?
Yeah, and then I was the one that would teach all the other kids. Like, I would trick the other kids into like poking like the stink bomb mushroom that we had.
Yeah, a little stink.
Yeah, so it would stink, and they would be like, gross, and I'd be like, anyways. And then there's like this like a jasmine. Jasmine reminds me of my grandparents' backyard from when we were little.
That's an awesome memory right there.
Yep, and specifically their dog Harry, who was this like really chunky golden retriever.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was one more. Oh, and then there's this like.
You said you had 3. You only listed 1.
That was 2. So one of them.
So the smell of snails being smashed in your pocket as a kid, and jasmine.
No, there's a particular like flower smell from like the garden that I would collect the snails, and it would remind me of this. But
okay, now we understood that first portion of the story. Okay.
Yeah. Second one was my grandparents' backyard. A third one is this like musty smell that reminds me of Kmart.
That's a horrible thing to remember.
Yeah.
You can just walk through the neighborhood. You're like, I smell discounts.
At Kmart.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my 3. There you go.
Okay, Stormy.
So I thought of one. Now that I'm finally over my cough, something was really stuck in there. And it's really, I can't think of, I know there's more, but this is one that came to mind. The smell of old school AD&D books, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons books. Like the newer books have a smell that's close, but it's not quite
smell though, huh?
right. And then so occasionally when sometimes Starkey and I will go to some used bookstores, and when I find an old book like that, and I'll open it up and start reading it and get that smell from it, it brings back.
Used bookstores are awesome. Yeah, they're awesome. You just walk in, it's like a presence. You're like,
Yep.
I get that. Okay, I totally get that. Mine was Bed Bath and Beyond was that vanilla and sugar body wash. Yeah. I think everyone's had an ex-girlfriend that probably used that way too much, and that's probably what that triggers to me. At least in my age group. That and blueberry scones. I don't know what it is. Blueberry scones. Like, I'm not talking like the little fluffy ones. I'm talking like they're hard as brick with the big old blueberry stuffed into it. Like those kinds of scones, right? You're like, you break it, it crumbles into 50 different things, and you're like, don't worry, I'm clean. I'm clean.
This is
okay. I'm not putting it on your floor. I mean,
that was when I got here.
Yeah. I'll pick it up later. I'll come back and clean that.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Alex
has got a serious good question here.
Okay. All right. Hold on. I'm listening.
Is there ever a time,
what you got?
And this is for all 3 of us, I think, and we can offer something.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Is there ever a time where you feel dissatisfied with your streams or YouTube content, and how do you get out of that mental slump?
I can kind of think of my answer. It's very short. I really don't do much content apart from Fridays and occasionally showing up for like a Sunday stream. So honestly, I'm not that much of a content engine. I wish I did more of like, Instagram and TikTok and stuff, but I'll be honest, I can't be bothered. I'm too lazy for that shit. I don't have the driver dedication that Stormy and Druid have for it. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I wish I could do that. So, I mean, to get out of a slump, it's pretty much just, hey, shut it off for the day. I'm going to go, make a drink for myself or, play a game that I don't want to play with anybody else and kind of just popping in. So, I mean, I'll pass it off to them. I mean, this sounds more of a question where they kind of come into effect there. But for me, like slump wise, it was just pretty much just shut it off for the day and walk away, go do something, you enjoy, whether it's, for me, it's cheesy, bad RTSs. I'm gonna go play a Civ game for the next 6 hours by myself, listening to an audiobook and, not thinking about anything, and then come back. And that's kind of my way to get out of a slump.
So Druid.
So I never had any intentions of being a content creator when I started streaming. I saw it as a social outlet, and I had no goals or expectations for it. But now it's that I have a community that I'm building up. I'm not building me up, I'm building a community up. Mm-hmm. And that helps me push past any sort of insecurities or woes or I don't want to do it. Like that feeling that you get when you're just like, you don't want to hit go live, you're tired, I'm already on my 3rd cup of coffee, and I'm just like, I don't feel good. Like, nobody wants to listen to my voice. Why would anybody want to show up or do any, like, all of that, like, negativity is easier to surpass because I have other people that I can go out and I can highlight, I can bring up, I can I can give advice to, or I could direct them somewhere, like
Mhm.
being that person. And that helps me continue to
I
stream and put out content and
I know
do
that
that.
feeling too. That was the same exact thing I had when I was doing Fire Team Delta with the airsoft stuff. That's
Hmm.
exactly how I felt. So I very much jive with what you're saying. Like
Yeah.
that's definitely a thing.
Yeah.
You got someone else to support, you kind of feel it's your duty and
Hmm.
put the best of your ability forward for it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely get
Yeah.
that one.
I love, and the thing is like it's not a like it drives me to get better and to grow and to do all those things, and it keeps me going, and it's inspiring and motivating. So that's me.
Bro, your
That's for me.
Discord and your stream is scary how much effort you put into it. Like legit.
Mhm.
Like I'm scared of how many hours you put into that on the time that you don't make coffee and then all of a sudden go like, I'm tired of bugging my husband. I'm gonna sit here and tinker. I
It,
mean,
it helps to have insomnia, because
yeah.
then sometimes, fate will be snoring away and I'm just like wide awake and I'm like, well, I'm just gonna sneak up into the computer room and work on Firebot.
You have mod access to my Discord. Go wild.
I got you.
Yeah.
I'll work on the day that I work on Stormy's is the day I'll work on yours too. And I'll
Never
schedule
happened
it.
then. Sweet. What do you got, Stormy?
I would say two things. One is I definitely concur with Druid. It feels like when you've started a community of folks that count on you to kind of be a light for them and be an entertainment for them, and just be consistent for them. It makes it a lot easier to just say, yeah, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna worry. Here's the key of it. Don't worry about the past. Remember that each moment is a new moment, a new present. Give yourself and your viewers that present, that gift of your time and your energy in the new moment, and focus on that. Don't worry about the past. Just keep trying. Know that as conscious entities, the more you practice something, the better you're going to be at it. And as long as you keep trying to evolve and grow and learn and get better at it, you will. It's just a given. Think about, when you first started some favorite game of yours. At the very beginning, you're not great at it, but the more you play it, the better you get at it. It's the same thing with everything else. And then the second bit of advice on that, I would say, just kind of do the Shia LaBeouf thing. Just do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just do
And
it.
it's going to be a grind. It's a grind.
Mhm.
So, if you want it to be a thing and you want to grow and be successful and you want to make something of it, you still have to recognize that it is currently right now something that is, it is a passion project. And surrounding yourself with people that support your passions
I was
helps
about to say
too.
that.
So
Yep.
Mhm.
having a network of people to support you, um, that's willing to help guide you and give you pointers, and that's also another perfect. That's literally what's
But
got
can
me to
you
where I am.
can you teach me how to Dougie?
Teach me. No.
Damn.
I don't even know
No,
what that
I couldn't
is.
even. I couldn't even. I couldn't even.
I don't even remember.
Is that no? That's the stinky leg that I was just thinking of. Never mind.
Yeah,
I have no
no,
idea.
different thing.
Don't ask.
Well, I will say one thing during that whole thing that like it's awesome to get those perspectives, but totally off topic. I think for we of the glasses community, when one person takes off their glasses to clean it, the other person within the establishment must do it too. It's kind of like a yawn. It's a weird phenomena. Like literally, I took mine off, did that, and I'm just waiting, and I'm just like looking at Druid's profile, and all of a sudden I see her do this. I'm like, got her.
Yeah, I have a glasses cleaner wipe right here. Like
Mhm.
it was. Yep.
Yep, it's like a yawn. Can't help it.
Yep. I was like, oh yeah, they need to be cleaned every once in a while.
What are your thoughts on Titanfall 2 or any of those other games from that generation? Titanfall 2 was seriously underrated for what it was. Like, it did not get the correct audience at the time for what it was, but it definitely established our current shooter genre, as it was defined through Black Ops and everything. I mean, it's just kind of made that mentality, and they did it so well compared to like every other first person shooter out there. I really enjoyed the campaign, and I wish they would have done more with that franchise as far as continuing the campaign. I know they've made other games like Splinters off, like saying, hey, this is in the same universe, but it's not the same. I like anything where somebody can hop into a giant mech and just smash stuff. That's
okay,
awesome.
I was gonna say, is that the one where you can like? Okay, yeah,
you're basically doing the parkour, shooting, and you can jump into.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Laxman. Apex has its own place. I don't like battle royales. I am not a battle royale fan. It is boring. I like the ability to go find stuff and loot stuff. I just don't like the premise of battle royales. I'm just like, bleh. He's lying. No, he's not, Guppy. Okay. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of unsung games out there that clearly defined how a lot of current games kind of go in the direction. Like, I mean, God forbid, Stormy still plays Daggerfall too. That game is how old, and it's still very playable, especially with mods and everything going through.
Well, because of the Unity remaster, for sure.
Yeah,
the original I wouldn't even attempt to play.
Yeah, but it's awesome that like old games can have that forward momentum to become relative again. Yeah. Titanfall 3. Well, yeah, but Laxman, that was them trying to jump on the money train. You got to realize these companies don't make games for our enjoyment. They make these games for us to enjoy making them a profit. Like some games like Larian Studios, they were an indie studio until they dropped Divinity. And even then, Divinity 1 did not perform well enough, but it performed well, just barely good enough with enough hype after like almost 2 years of release to generate enough forward momentum as a passion project to make Divinity 2, which led to Baldur's Gate 3. That's a hell of a movement to get a licensing and franchise ability for specifically the D&D universe to go into that and say, I'm going to take Forgotten Realms, which by the way was a passion project, not even something that the company created. Somebody else came up with that homebrew campaign, and then they basically said, okay, that sounds good, let's use that. I mean, everything has a chain to somewhere else, but I mean, a lot of these big AAA companies don't care about whether or not you like it. They just care if they get your pre-order money, and then that's kind of it. Let's release it halfway through, run it through, wait till it beats the dog. All we need is your pre-sales because we don't care. We've already got 5 more in the back in the cooker, and here they come again because they're riding off their old games that they did really well. They're running off that nostalgia, and it's unfortunate that it is how it is. Activision is the worst of it all right now for me personally. They're their own behemoth. Microsoft has them now. Let's see where that goes. That's pretty much where I'm at.
There's definitely a lot of for sure negativity out there as far as the AAA studios, but I think that they've taken notice of games like like Baldur's Gate 3 because it's they're
indie devs are doing great.
Yep,
I love them.
So on that note, the time has flown. We're getting back up to the point where it's time to start wrapping up. Do you have any other questions on your mind, Druid and or Wookiees? Do you have any other questions that you would like to, any topics that you would like to touch on before we wrap up for the day?
None over here, apart from the ridiculous questions I can summon out of my head if y'all really want that.
How about you, Druid?
Alex, yes. I want the pestilence has spread. Telling you, it's a thing.
Saw you take off your glasses to clean them again. I was like,
I saw you resisting.
I was like, I literally just cleaned them. I don't need to touch them again. I don't. And like, I had to fight.
When are we taking fate Wookiees? I mean, I've already taken him. I mean, I've taken the most important thing in his life, which, I'm not going to say it. His wife is here and she could do things to me that I think internationally is considered a war crime.
Probably. All right. So ask one crazy question that you can pop out of your head right now to wrap up.
Okay. I mean, atypical. You know, what is a roll? You know, I know what a bun is, but how do you explain the lobster roll where it gets cut down the middle and spread, but now it's somehow a sandwich? Is it a sandwich because it's not cut all the way because it's sliced? Or is it purely just hold on? Is it purely just a roll, but then the sides are cut off and then like the top is kind of run? Because my understanding is a roll is where you take the dough and roll it up and then bake it as is. But now we got a lobster roll, which is slightly cut with a slight cut down the middle and stuffed into it. Is it more of a pocket, like a
like a taco?
Like no, not like a taco, because
like a pita. Is that what you're kind of more?
No, because that's still considered a flatbread. A flatbread is different. If you have a wheated and yeasted dough that rises and puts air into it, it's a whole different thing. You can't really classify it as a taco because a taco requires some sort of flattened, unleavened bread.
Wait, I need you to.
It's not leavened either.
I need you to re-ask your question slower so my brain can comprehend.
Oh, I love these questions. You know this. I have asked some of these weird ones, and
I know
you and I have sat there and theory crafted these all up and down.
So can you please one more time? Just
is a lobster roll, specifically the roll itself. I don't care what's in it, right? People know what that roll looks like. Sliced down the side, right, where it's flattened on the side, but the top still holds some of the consistency of the bread portion of it, where it's like baked as it is, but then it's sliced down the middle.
Yeah, and it's open.
And now it's opened a little bit to stuff in. Is it less of a sandwich?
Do they stuff the lobster in before or after they bake it?
So this is after. So okay, guys, imagine a hoagie roll. It has not been sliced. Okay.
Guppy's wrong. It's not a hoagie.
Well, not a
hoagie. Split down all the way through.
Yeah. So when you go to your average grocery store and there's those rolls, like those 4-pack of rolls, and there's no slice, no cut, no nothing. So you have it there. You have the bottom that sits on the counter, and you have the top. And then what Wookiees is saying is scoring and opening the top. So you're not cutting the side of the bread. You're talking to a sandwich master here. It's how I won my husband's heart. Okay, it was with my sandwich skills. So you slice it this way to open up the bread. But this lobster roll is you're slicing open from the top and just like ripping it open, and then you're adding all of the fillings and stuff. He's asking if that is
stuff.
I'm gonna go with Guppy. I think it's a lobster dog.
But okay, a hot dog. So if it's a lobster dog, it requires a casing and a filling, right? So no. I mean, can you Okay, that still doesn't make sense because now we're kind of going on the range of like a sausage sandwich.
Because a hot dog bun still gets sliced open and
fully, right?
Yeah, fully or like partially. There's still like that little hinge and stuff. Which a lot of people still do the little hinge with like the hoagie rolls.
Yeah, that I get.
I'm just gonna say that it's still considered a sandwich.
But it's considered a roll. Should they be calling it a roll?
Because it's the style of bread is a roll bread. So yes, I'm going to say that's it's a sandwich roll. Just purely because of the style of bread that they use. And the cut on the bread doesn't quite matter, even though it makes me uncomfortable.
What do you mean it doesn't matter? That changes the whole aspect of what a sandwich is and isn't. You've totally destroyed the entire sanctity of a sandwich. A sandwich is 2 sliced pieces of bread smashed with stuff smashed in the middle.
But this is why it's a roll, a hoagie roll.
But it's not
I think she's way off base.
So then this is a sub. It's like a sub. It's a sub thing.
No, you've
subcategory of
you're ruining your whole argument. Your whole argument's out the window.
Wait, I got you guys.
I tried.
All right.
I tried.
It's a lobster pie.
Okay, a pie I'm more willing to look at because you do have pies that are open topped.
No.
But is a pie strictly set to where you have to have it in a circular scenario? In a circular pan?
The pie. This is listen. Okay, because you have the because technically pumpkin pie
questions. It's not my fault you can't answer them.
The pie is technically not a pie.
Yeah, it is. No. Well, look, dessert in general can be
No,
a pudding.
because a
Anything
pie-
sweet can be
a
considered
pie-
a pudding.
No. Listen, a pie also technically has a top crust. Will make it a pie.
Whoa, hold up. No, because now you got
She's making shit up now.
We're talking
Oh,
about
so pumpkin pie is-
technicalities. That's not technically a pie.
So then,
No,
what
a
is
pie-
pumpkin? Is it a pumpkin tart?
I don't
then?
remember. It's a custard.
It's more of a custard, less but the pumpkin pie portion of it is a custard filling.
So the
the
pie
portion is the lower crust being baked with said filling.
Then a pumpkin pie is a giant
that's
pumpkin
still
tart.
technically not considered a pie. Yeah, it's a tart. Thank you. But
But
that's
a tart
not.
is a smaller pie.
But listen. Okay.
I like
That's
that
still
answer.
technically a pie, right? So we're going back to the lobster roll.
You just supported
It's
my
still
argument. Thank you.
No, because it's still technically a pie, right? Whatever, okay? So the
Still right here as far as I
Oh
hear.
my God, whatever. Fine chat. I'm back.
Hey,
Conversation.
here's your answer.
Mad the rest of the day. And
We can
so
talk
by
about
the
this on
time-
Friday
No,
night. We talked about this.
by the time I make it, by the time we make it to Lethal Company, listen, I'm gonna be getting off of this call and I'm gonna go talk to my mother.
Do research on it.
Good luck. So
And, okay,
I know how we should end it. So
furious.
because experts in these fields in the past chose to call the lobster roll a lobster roll, we should leave it at that because that's the way language works.
But English
Not a
is such
satisfying answer.
multi-nuanced language, though. We
But
have a
it is
different
true.
definition for each word every day.
But the crust and bread are prepared differently,
Look,
and there's no.
Look, you've already lost this argument. I don't know why you're continuing. Stormy over here is suffering because of your
I'm also
unsupported
arguing.
argument.
I'm also arguing with Guppy. So I
Okay, you can't
cannot.
argue with the fish. There's no logic that comes out of that man. I have to sit here every Friday and listen to him. Okay, never mind. I can't yell on this podcast. This is not the correct place. Come see us on Friday if you want to hear the rest of this conversation, which it is
On
Friday.
that
We do
note-
start at 7 o'clock CST tonight. So if you want to hear the rest of this, come hang out with us and you'll actually hear the unfiltered version of this podcast.
Right.
Look, but the thing is, I have CBJ on my side. You guys,
You know what, Stormy? You might as well just wrap us up because we could keep going.
No, I know.
We're gonna
Guys,
have an argument.
I want to thank you for this incredibly important, heated discussion that will solve world peace single-handedly. But unfortunately, it's one of those complex scenarios that requires a degree in physics to truly figure it out. And so we're going to have to take some time and go get our degrees before we reconvene for this conversation. And
It's fine in the end. I know I'll win.
But I will say this, that yes, Chad always wins, flawless victory. Bam. So
I don't know. Chat's
seriously
kind of
though.
degen on their own, though.
my heart's literally racing right now. I'm just.
Of course it is. Of course it is. So, Wookiees, Wookie Monster, my buddy, Wookies and Cookies. Guys, go follow this
Lord
amazing
Stormy.
content creator. Support him. Check us out tonight on his channel at 7 p.m. Central Time. And don't forget that Druid and I are going to be streaming on her channel in roughly an hour and a half or so. So,
In about an hour.
Give
about
poor
an hour.
Stormy a break.
Yep. I really appreciate you guys for joining us for another amazing episode of Bandwidth and Banter. Wookiees, you're amazing. Guys, help
Yeah, you
support
guys
this
are
guy.
awesome.
He's amazing. So I love you, brother. Thank you.
You all are awesome. Thank you for having me once again. I enjoyed my time. I especially enjoy riling up Druid because now she's going to be upset throughout the entirety of it and still arguing about it later. It's going to be great. I'm so excited. I love those hard questions. And you know what? I appreciate what you both do for our community every day.
Oh,
And I thank you because, it takes a very special individual to harness that much of a wild firecracker in one go to point her in the correct direction to do something productive. So thank you very much for taking one on behalf of the rest of the Twitch community. Because there's not many people that can handle that much just Druid.
she is like a little nuclear reactor gone wild. I totally agree with you there. So,
Yeah, she would have been buried out in the Pacific if it,
All right.
Anyways, okay. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you. And come say hi
Thank
to
you,
us later
buddy.
tonight.
we'll see you tonight. Wow, Druid. You're gonna be stuck on this for a while, aren't you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My stream's not gonna be fun for anyone. Just saying.
We love you too, OG Blaze, and all of you folks out there in chat. Thank you for joining us. Who do we have on the agenda for next week? It's hard to follow up the Wookiee monster, but I'm sure we will make do. We will not more than make do. We will be able to hit new heights. Who we got coming?
Birthday buddy. Rhubarb.
Oh my gosh! Wow, that's awesome. I'm a huge fan. Wow, that's so cool.
Another
Rhubarb.
artist.
So she's a unique streamer. Can't wait.
I'm so excited.
And guys, again, thank you for making this entire community and super community what it is. With you guys, without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to amazing folks like Wookiesncookies, and we wouldn't be able to talk to folks like Rhubarb coming next week. And I'm just super stoked and super excited about the rest of this day and all the stuff we have for the rest of this year. So, Druid?
Yes.
You have anything else to add before we do the wrap up?
You guys are the best. Thank you. And also, Wookiees is wrong. And
Okay.
we need to be prepared to have a valid argument by the time we make it to Lethal Company. And I need your help. Pelican.
Put your clothes back on. All right. So
I love you guys though.
All right, let's wrap this up. Let's take it home. Thank you for coming to the show.
Please drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below.
If you're listening to the podcast,
please rate and review the episode.
We're Bandwidth
and Banter.
Thank you.
And good night.
Bye, guys.